Hey folks, Quilly here, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. We're playing as Ayr United, and today we match up against Dumbarton Football Club, who are currently 10th in the league, although I will note, we've talked about this before, but even when you're talking about something at the bottom of the league, you're still looking at teams that, on paper, are possibly as strong. It looks like Dumbarton actually does have very low player value over here. They're probably the one exception in the league over here. So we should be relatively dominant over them, assuming, we don't mess up too badly. And that brings us to the point that, it's just like in real life. You can have a big string of wins and, occasional draws against some harder teams here and there. Although, again, this draw against Dumbarton, right? Maybe that's not a good sign. And the draw against St. Mirren when they had they had the red carded out player over here, we should have won that outright. So there is a need in certain situations to play a more aggressive style right from the start. But you can't say that our overall plan isn't working. We came into this basically going to be at the bottom of the league, and we're a fair bit better than that. We're doing fantastic. We're third overall. We have drawn or even beaten teams that are much, much, much stronger than us. So overall, I'm very happy about things. But as always, you want to continue to evolve over the season, especially as the AI adapts to the strategies we're using, as the AI also increase the familiarity of their particular stratagems and different things like that. So we do have to keep tweaking. And in particular, against Dumbarton here at home, we are going to play a more offensive style. We are going to use two base tactics still. We're still going to be using the 4-4-2 diamond against teams that like to use a defensive 4-4-2, which Dumbarton is going to be doing, which seems to be the vast majority of the teams in our league, which is fine. And we will also occasionally use the 4-3-1-2 narrow, which we were using earlier, which is a very similar but a little bit more aggressively minded, and actually might not be bad over here. But I think we can actually play fairly aggressively with the 4-4-2 diamond as well. Doherty holding a little further back. Well, you know what? Maybe we will actually move him up here into the 4-3-1-2 narrow. Although I will want to make the adjustment. You'll see that we were practicing the control strategy over here. We're going to also move to a control strategy over here. And we're also going to go, just to match what I was doing before, a higher tempo game over here. I actually want to switch to, when it's time to do an aggressive control-minded mentality, I'm actually going to want to switch back to how we started early in the season with the short passing style. High tempo, short passing style. Which is going to be a little bit more possession-based. But I'm not going to do it here because we haven't done it. If you take a look over here, if we go to short passing, because we haven't done it in a while, our familiarity with the passing style has dropped considerably. So we're going to have to practice it a little bit more before we do that. So I'm just going to stick to mixed style. But it is worth noting that the more attacking mentality, the more attacky your mentality, it does tend to go... I was going to say a little bit more shorter passing style. Yes and no. I think, the more defensive you are, the more it tends to get dumped out from defense as opposed to play out defense. And with control, you get a little bit more. Actually, what we might do is throw on play out of defense over here. You can see that from mixed, look at our passing style, right? It automatically gets a little bit shorter. I think with this, we're going to do this. It's going to be a bit more possession-y style. That's going to be okay. I will like to practice. Actually, what I think I might do is on our third tactic over here, I'm just going to go and tell them to practice the short passing style again. We're not going to use this directly, but that's going to be okay. That's probably going to mess up my composition. Let me just go and use that. Nope. Hang on a sec. Quick pick here, then go here, and things adjust. Okay. So, yes, we might do something a little bit more like this just to move forward a bit. I don't know. I think, you know what? Our 4-4-2 diamond's actually okay. And I think it will work fine here. Yeah, but you know what? Let me move Doherty up a little bit. That's going to be fine. And then we'll make Egan the ball-winning midfielder, and you're going to be the support, and that's going to be fine. Okay, so we'll do something like that. Groovy. Excellent. I'm fine with that. But a couple of changes. Notice that Craig Moore over here, he's not actually injured. He's got the flu. And this, I think, is going to be okay because, well, not that he's got the flu, we're not going to play him, but it gives us an opportunity to do something that we should have done possibly a while ago, which is we're going to bring in Craig McGuffey over here, who we've been training quite hard to improve. He's actually performed quite well in the few games that he's been in here. We're going to bring him up. Now, he is not comfortable at all playing further back. Let's take a look at Craig McGuffey. I guess I can't just click on him over here. That's fine. He's not comfortable playing in the assistant position, but he is comfortable playing up front. And Thomas is actually quite happy playing as a false nine over here. There's no reason he still can't do extraordinarily well as a false nine. In fact, or something of that nature. We may adjust his specific role over here. Maybe play him as a target man or something like that. I don't think he's exceptionally taller. 188's not bad. Jumping reach is 12. Your heading is 9, which is actually, like, really not terrible at all in the league that we're in. Out of curiosity, so dribble more racy passes, move into channels. Actually, we do want that, especially against the 4-4-2. I'm going to keep you as a false 9. That's going to be fine. McGuffey over here is quite good at playing poacher over here, as we can see. If I recall correctly, he's not terribly tall. 184, I mean, he's fine. He's like 6'1", 6'1.5", something like that. Jumping reach is a 12. Heading's only 6. Still, you know what? That's actually not so bad at the front. In the past, I think for some reason, I was looking at some of these stats and thinking, oh, he'd be really good. We're going to develop him as like a target man or something like that. And I realized afterwards that that's actually a little bit silly for 2 reasons. One, people in the comments made a good point that you train people for their strengths. Really try to optimize them for what they're already good at. Just make them even better at what they're at, rather than trying to like fill in some of the gaps where they've got a weakness. So his development some time ago, I did switch him over to poacher, and I think that was between episodes here. So he's working on that specifically. I mean, advanced forward's very similar, but that's the idea. Poacher there. I am working on his strength. His strength is quite low, if I recall correctly. Oh, yeah. It was a 5, and it's gone up to a 6. And that's going to be good so that he doesn't just get, like, knocked over right away. And he's young, so improving his raw physical stats, I think, is still a good time for that. I don't think he's going to need a ton of stamina. We might want to work on his speed a little bit more later on. Again, his pacing's not the really important part as much as the explosiveness of acceleration, which is actually quite good right now. So I think a little bit more strength so he doesn't get the ball tackled away from him quite as easily. And then other than that, yeah, just the poacher type stuff. His finishing's not stupendous, but hopefully that'll improve. His anticipation's not stupendous. But the mental stats do tend to develop with age, so we'll cross our fingers that improves over there. Now, so Craig McGuffey as a poacher sounds pretty good. And what's worth noting is that Sean McKenzie over here, he is on loan to Kumnock? I don't know how you say these guys, until May, which is the end of this season. But then he's going to come back to me. He's 19 years old, same as Craig McGuffey. He's 191 centimeters. I don't know how tall that is. 191 centimeters in feet and inches. There we go. Boom. Is 6'2". Well, actually, no, that's 6.26. Google is giving it to me, even though I said feet and inches, it's just giving it to me in feet. So that's about, actually, I guess about 6'3", maybe 6'3.5" or something like that. So he's relatively tall. He's not a giant, but he's got a natural jumping reach of 12 over here. His heading skill is already a 10. I think that does make him a perfect target man, a role he's already super comfortable in. So I think that's going to be our upfront pairing going forward. We're going to use Sean McKenzie and Craig McGuffey as our 2 upfront strikers. Now, we still have all strikers on loan, actually. If you take a look at the squad over here and you sort by position, like if you look at our strikers here, our 4 players we have on loan are all strikers. But, sorry, no, I'm misreading that. My bad. Because Sean McKenzie, we're loaning out, and Todd Ralston over here is, of course, our right defender. And Ross Duhin is also our goalkeeper. So, no, my bad. We actually have plenty of non-strikers. But we do have some strikers. And Kevin Nisbet has potential, but we're not really going to take advantage of that, right? His ability's not bad. He's like a good secondary person at 19. You know, I guess he's fine. But, yeah, we might develop in that direction going forward and really use Craig and Sean as our frontmen. And then we may release some of these loaners to open up another loan in the middle. That might include, say, releasing a Ross over here. Maybe I should have been playing Greg Fleming all along. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. All right, anyway, let's get on with the game. So we're going to be using McGuffey and Thomas up front. Harkins over there, it's good. We still don't have a comfortable place for Alan Forrest, and that's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's move forward. This has already gone on for 10 minutes. We haven't actually started playing the game yet, but that's the way it is. Under fitness coach, offer someone a physio job. No, that's okay. We've got room for it. We do actually have a little bit of budget space, but we're right around the corner from the start of a new trading season, and it'll be interesting to see exactly how things go over there. How's McGuffey progressing? Excellent. He's improving. Wonderful. Fantastic. Pre-match advice. I'm going to ignore you, as I always do. Easy win predicted for Air. We'll see how that goes. So it's today at 12:30. Excellent. Preview. Nisbet's loan deal to end soon. Oh, is it? Indeed it is. And that's quite interesting. I mean, we've used him relatively well. He's actually done quite well for us in his appearances, hasn't he? No, actually. Actually, no. 6.6-ish. I mean, his finishing's good. I mean, we probably just haven't done very well for him, really, in his utilization. I might not renew his loan. I don't think we need him. Especially now that, like, Craig McGuffey's really getting in there, and we still have Craig Moore as the extra man. We've got 3 relatively strong strikers, and we've got, like, Alan Forrest can play the striker role. He's not super comfortable in it, which I think is a little bit backwards. A little bit backwards. I mean, yeah, we're training him up to a poacher. We're not going to be doing that after all, because we do have, like, it feels like he should be good in this role. Like, everything that the game says a poacher is looking for, he's got quite well, except for concentration, right? Yeah. I don't know what to do with this guy. Maybe I'm hung up on the fact that I think he was much higher rated in Football Manager 2016, and now he has fell a little further. He's not rated quite as highly, which is crazy because he gets played, like, all the time in the actual Ayr United. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so this is what we're going to go with. I think this is perfectly fine. Yeah. Excellent. Yes, well, he's going to get his match sharpness now, so that's going to be okay. Let's proceed to the match. That's going to be okay. And standard operating procedure, we will go and mark the 2 strikers and the 2 wingers. And then, yeah, hopefully that'll be sufficient. I don't know. Maybe that's not the way to go. Oh, and they're even missing some players. Good God. Opposition instructions. So we're going to be tightly mark the 2 strikers and tightly mark the 2 wingers over here. And then, yeah, close down and tackle hard in the back. Okay, team talk. Listen, guys, we're going to be assertive here. We're favorites here. Go out and impress me. Don't F up. Craig McGuffey, is there something specific I could say to bring you up here? Like, good display. I want to specifically say, like, do well. There's a lot more to come from you, and I completely believe you've got what it takes. I want to put, some extra little pressure on him to perform well and be like, I'll keep starting you, buddy, if you do well over here. All right, let's get her started. All right, so we're in the white kit today, and we're playing control, excellent, flexible, good, wonderful. We've completely surrounded McCallum over here, who has to dump the ball out to the side. Livingston does get there in time, and that's a good crossing angle. It's going to be a corner. He can't keep his hands on it, which is frustrating as hell. We have been practicing our defending set pieces, which has been a bit of a vulnerability in the past. So that looked pretty good, although no one's going to be able to pick up that header over there, which is a bit disappointing. Is that a Doherty or Dougherty from the other side? It is. Doherty M. There's something like 8 of them in the league. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. Okay, finally we've got our hands on the ball. I mean, literally in the case of the goalkeeper. And we can start our offense. So the whole plan here has been we want to play more aggressively. So what the hell? No, we got a free kick and a warning on the other side. Okay, that's all right. Looks like nothing came of it since we're not getting a highlight for it. Again, we're on the defense over here during the highlight. Possession has been 50-50, which is nice. Doherty dumps the ball deep to Thomas. Excellent. Thomas is a bit pinned in. Actually gets tackled away and loses it to Thompson. Damn, can't get a rally going on. Apparently we had 1 shot off target. That's probably from the free kick that we didn't see. They've had 1 on target, which is scary. There we go. Now it looks like we're starting to get there. Still a lot of pressure up in the middle, which is where we're trying to overload things. Big pass forward to McGuffey, who is not offside. Tries to cross it over to Thomas. Oh, my God. Oh, that was great. That was very nice. I mean, it didn't go in, so, I mean, it's only so nice, I suppose. But, I mean, that will go in plenty of times. It's exactly the sort of play I want to see. McGuffey a bit pinned down, but finds Crane, which is great. Crane is going to try to carry it up the far side, does get a bit pinned in. Kearney just one-times it over to Geegan, who brings it over to Harkins, who gets it to Thomas in 1 time! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. We're playing fast-paced, trying to overcome a weaker defense so that they can't get themselves in position, and just trying to quickly find openings like that while we weave in between their 4-4-2 back line. You know, try to get in between in those channels. Stevenson gets away with a warning. Oh, what was going on there? And yes, let's see the replay. We've got to load up those 3D graphics for the first time over here. Chugga, chugga, chugga. There we go. Kearney just taps it to Geegan, who keeps shuffling over, and then look, Thomas is just perfectly open, and Harkins spots it. Thomas is, that's, you know, off the ball positioning, kicks in there very well. And yeah, so Thomas isn't in his poacher role anymore, but that actually might work out better. I don't know. But yeah, if we can get some good practice on Mr. McGuffey here and get him to really hit his full potential, that's going to be great. Okay, excessive celebration. Come on, let's go. Crane's got the ball from the side, throws it into Devlin, who knocks it back to Crane. Crane tries to move it forward quite a bit, over to Kearney, who's got lots of passing options. We're a bit too cluttered in the middle, which is no good. Darky, Harkins to Thomas, who tries to knock it up to McGuffey, but he gets caught up a little bit. It would have been another beautiful little play, and I would really love to see if we couldn't get Craig McGuffey to score this match and really, really justify getting him up there. Our rating's good so far, which is fantastic. He dumps the ball deep. Magat stops Todd from being able to gain control over it. Ballatoni, who's going to be leaving us relatively soon, then gains control of the ball, dumps it way deep, which is interesting because I don't have play-out defense. No, I don't. Do I? Do I want play-out defense? I don't know. You know what? Yes, I do, actually. I think we have the strength to reliably pass it up, again, through the stronger middle. I don't have exploit the middle on, because, I mean, that's naturally where things are going to happen. Oh, my God. That had so much potential. Nice cross by Crane, actually. I got to say, he was pretty bang on. Again, we're currently still missing some really good sort of offensive sort of aerial dominance. So, ooh, Crane with the yellow card. So I'm quite pleased to still be doing low crosses at this time. They're very, very, very easy to deliver. And you don't have to beat people in the aerial game, which defensively we've been doing fine, but offensively we've never had a really particularly strong presence there. And I suspect the other team has, you know, generally has stronger defenders there too when we look at the stats. Oh my God, McGuffey, the long range shot. He was too pinned in to be able to get a lot of force behind that. But again, the positioning and the opportunities has been great. We're up to 11 shots on goal now. I might even count it to 12 right over there, indeed. 4 on target. No clear-cut chances, but we did get it in once, so that was clear enough for me, I suppose. Devlin back to Kearney, who's got a great angle. Doherty, Harkins with a long shot in the distance and goes. Yeah, I think the control mentality is pushing people up a little bit more, so we have more of a presence on the offensive side, which helps. It also naturally increases tempo. It naturally encourages a shorter but faster pace passing game, as well as we are playing on a higher tempo as well, and I think that's really what you're seeing there. Lots more people around, lots of quick passing to look for an opportunity, and less of that situation where we weren't getting enough shots off or they were a lot further away. We're really trying to get aggressive and push forward, and clearly that's resulted in some opportunities there. Do we want to make any changes in the second half? I mean, we may want to be a little bit more defensive. We may want to slow down the tempo, but I don't think we're going to make any changes at this time. Of course, we always have to be careful that the other team decides to counter what we're doing. So at some point, it does make sense to shift away from something that has won up to that point. But for now, yeah, I'm going to be passionate about it, like very happy with how it's going. Keep it up. Excellent. Wonderful. Start the next game, or the next half. Back to Ballatoni. Kearney's, I like him. Paul Kearney. Always a great player and opens up a lot of opportunities. Again, he's like sort of a second Harkins to me in terms of like connecting the midfield up and really developing an offense. Like those passing. Oh, Harkins gets a bit pinned in. Now, I don't know if that was him trying to dump it to defense or if it was one of the defenders just trying to knock it out of the zone. But Ballatoni was there to pick it up. It was great. Ooh, this is a little sketchy, but no, Ballatoni's able to. It will hurt to lose Ballatoni, and I'm very sad that we couldn't work out a contract deal. That's very disappointing. But we are going to bring in a lot of cash for the club on someone who came in on a free transfer, so, you know, good on us there for turning a profit, and that is its own, you know, reward some of the time. Kearney over to Thomas to McGuffey. Ooh, tries the one time there. There was someone in the way. It is a goal kick, so I guess they didn't get their foot in the way or anything like that. And another offensive play here. Kearney's probably going to have to pass it wide to Crane, who's going to be able to tap. Ooh, I did not see him running that up. I thought he was going to pass it into the middle to Thomas, or is that? Oh, Harkins, I believe, was in there too. Thought one of them was going to get the ball and just one time it in, but ooh, who's Ooh, dead leg on the other side. I don't know what dead leg means. Just numb from an injury, maybe? Could be. Right? If you slam a nerve, and you get a bit of numbness in the leg. Could be. So Darren Cole has been subbed out. We're 60 minutes in. We'll want to do some subs relatively soon myself. And I may want to double-check the opposition situation. McGuffey moving the ball up wide and decides to dump it from quite far away. But it was on target. Ewings didn't even just catch the ball. He just had to deflect it over, which means we get a corner. Geegan's going to corner it in, does get deflected away, and unfortunately, Dumbarton is going to get control over the ball for now. We've got like 15 people on him, and it looked like we did break up that play, so that's good. 66 minutes in. Big attempt at something over there by the opposition. Ooh, that we are very, very, very lucky that didn't do anything. So you subbed out Darren Cole, yeah. So defender for defender, so that doesn't change anything there. As far as our players, energy levels are mostly okay. Craig's actually getting surprisingly tired here, and hasn't delivered himself. I could bring in Kevin, but his sharpness was a little lower as well. I think I'm comfortable leaving Craig on here for the duration of the game. We are 2 goals ahead at this point, so it's probably fine. Do we have like a good sub in the midfield? Yeah, Robbie Crawford over here. We're going to swap you out for Paul Kearney, who, again, I do like quite a bit, but I think that's going to be a good idea. Maybe Caleb Crane, since you do have the yellow. I think I might swap you for Paddy Boyle over here. And if I recall correctly, Paddy's a little bit more comfortable playing. No, you're fine, actually. We're going to keep you there. So we'll do a couple of subs over there. Just the midfield, the defense, make sure they don't get too tired, they don't get overrun. And yeah, if we can get as much match sharpness as possible for Mr. McGuffey, I'll be very excited about that. So let's go ahead and do that and probably save the last sub for 10 minutes left, if anything, just in case of injuries or God forbid, well, I was going to say a red card, but I guess with the red card, you don't have to bring in a substitute. So we are out shooting them at a 4-to-1 ratio here, which is very good. 2 clear-cut chances. I think one of those might have been a goal. Another one was not, because our first goal was not on a clear-cut chance, just on target. Back to Crawford, Harkins. Good movement with the ball. Really liking this. Interesting that we don't have anyone over here, though. I mean, I know we have a fairly narrow comp, so you're going to get this clustering a lot. But it is a little strange that it was so weighted on this side. But we find Thomas. Ooh, tries to take a long shot. Nothing going on there. A bit disappointing, but not too critical. I don't think I've seen any other subs recently. Ross Doohan moving it deep. Someone said something. How did you do it? Is it over here? I can give specific instructions. When goalkeeper has the ball, I want you to distribution type. Something like roll it out, like not take long kicks. Like just get it to the center backs. I mean, I could tell you to get it to Ralston more. I don't want you to knock it quite as much. Like, to the midfield is fine. I don't, I guess I do have an advanced playmaker in Crawford. I could tell you to do that. So I guess just get it up to the center backs as much as you can, rather than dump it deep. I mean, I have play out defense, so I would assume it affects how the goalkeeper mostly distributes the ball. This is just going to change it even more here. All right, Boyles over to Crawford. Crawford's got lots of options in the middle. Doherty back to Crawford. Surprise, not to Harkins, really? Over to McGuffey. There's Geegan in the slot. No, the pass falls just short of Geegan. Seemed to slow down of its own volition there. I don't know, is the grass a little bit wet or something? I'm not sure. We had 10 minutes in. We could consider another substitution right here at the end. Okay, good stop there. Excellent. And, oh yeah, the changes haven't kicked in yet for the goalkeeper instructions. That's interesting. So he's still going to kick it a little deeper than I would like, but there it is. All right, let's do one more substitution here. Maybe like one of the more tired people, although Geegan doesn't have another good sub available to him because we've already done a midfield sub. You know what? Let's go and see if we throw Kevin Nisbet in right at the end here, if something else might happen. So fresh legs on the offense. Maybe we can end this 3-0, get us some more goal differential. Although it will be very disappointing if we get beaten on the defense. But yeah, we don't have that many. I guess I could have done one of our fullbacks as well. That would have been an option, but this is going to be okay. Kevin Nisbet right away is offside. A free kick gets knocked away. They're still going to be on the offense, though. There's Nisbet poaching in the distance. Doherty versus Devlin. Ooh, and a foul! Is it going to be a card or just a yellow, or just a free kick? Just a free kick, but it didn't seem to lead to anything. We've got a corner. Harkin's taking it. Boyle is in position, but it does go wide. Such a nice attempt, though. It's rare that we actually are able to do the corner directly onto someone. We've got a lot of density in the middle. I guess we haven't adjusted our opposition instructions. Oh my, how the fuck? Seriously? I mean, and that wasn't, I don't think opposition instruction modifies that. McCallum, I mean, we had someone on McCallum. I mean, look, I mean, we've got a million people around him. This is just barely moving. Dugan gets a finger on it, but not enough to displace it. Okay, they're moving in for like an intense attack over here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to say, I'm going to tweak some stuff out. Just dump the ball. Get rid of it. And, yeah, waste some time. And we'll just pull back a little bit more. I mean, that won't kick in yet, but yeah, it sounds... We got the announcement that the other team was going to move forward aggressively here. We might just still be able to score another one in the last minute here. It's entirely possible. We're on the offense. We've done well. That goal was so freaking disappointing. That was such an incredibly disappointing goal. Magat getting in there to intercept the pass. Really nice. Ballatoni moving it up to Nisbet. Ooh, not quite, although it's still a bit of a struggle. They just dumped the ball off to the side, so now our pending changes for the full defensive mode is going to kick in. Of course, it doesn't mean we can't still score. Just means we will hang back a little further to avoid being overrun. Nisbet does grab it on the flanks. Can he get it over into the middle? He can, over to Doherty. Ooh, does lose the ball for a little bit, but he's able to regain control over Crawford. Harkins, Geegan moves it back to Crawford. Harkins again, can't find a striker. There, Thomas has got it, but can he get a shot off from here? Well, he gets the shot off, but it can't go in. Oh, but it does give us a corner with seconds left. Seconds left. Can we? Probably not, but we'll see. Damn, that was, God damn, that goal was disappointing. Again, we had like 4 guys around the striker. I mean, maybe with the slightly different directions to tackle him harder. I'm not sure. But that could have just led to a penalty kick, which could have resulted in the goal. I'm mostly disappointed in Ross over there for that. Feels like it wasn't a very hard, fast kick. It feels like our goalkeeper should have been able to defend that. Overall, I'm pretty happy. You know, I guess I maybe I don't even say anything. Nothing specific to mention. I don't think I'm going to do that. Fantastic in the first half. The second half showing was unacceptable. Right, because it was 2-0 in the first half, right? So I'll calmly say that. Yeah, I probably just shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I should have adjusted my my stratagem in the second half. That's also entirely possible. Still, we came away with the win, so that's something. Vintage display ensures air victory. Thomas on form. Of course I wouldn't send out the team to make... Yeah, that was... She just got a little knock. It's fine. It happens. What? Oh, this is a direct question for me, because I'm not handling the press conference. What has been your reaction to some criticism leveled at Air's perceived extreme physicality and unnecessarily aggressive attitude? Yeah, see, that's bullshit. There's no way. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We're not that type of side at all. It's unfortunate someone picked up an injury, but these things happen in football sometimes. It isn't reflective of the type of football we want to play. It's really not. Like, seriously. The hell, guys? Hey, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. All right. So, you know, there's a win. I would have liked a more dominant win, and we were playing an aggressive strategy. It did work early. It could be that, especially with the higher tempo and everything like that, people just got a little bit gassed, a little bit winded. That's possible. Of course, it didn't help that Craig McGuffey didn't have like super sharpness. It's gone up here. It's not all the way, but it has definitely gone up, and I think I will be playing him some more, especially if we can get him more match experience so that he can really reach his full potential. Just try to keep unlocking it if we can. We could turn this guy into a real pro player. Slightly annoying, his contract. I mean, no, right. No, we're fine. I was starting to think like, oh, he's only here for another few months and we have to renew, but no, it's 2 years. So that's going to be fine. How does it put us into the competition? We booked a win there. Wraith has played as many as we have. We're 4 points ahead, which is good. Falkirk is 1 game lower, so they can easily get a bunch more points over there, which is really too bad. Again, we've got a really good lead over 5th place team. Also, I don't know if I addressed it, but apparently some people have tweeted at me, or one person tweeted at me, telling me what the structure for the playoff is, and it sounds like the way it works is the 3rd and 4th team play each other. The winner of that plays against the 2nd place team, and then the winner of that plays against the team that was relegated from the Premier League. So it seems like there's no real difference between 3rd and 4th, although you know, that it might give you more padding from not getting into the playoff tournament at all. But there's a huge difference between 2nd and 3rd. It saves you an entire freaking game. And of course, ending 1st is good. So if we can end the season in 2nd place, it would just be miles above of a 3rd place finish. But 3rd and 4th is not as critical necessarily, as long as you don't end up 5th. And so far, so good. We've got, this is exactly the halfway mark into the season. So if we can somehow keep this up, we'll end up with about 64 points overall. Some other people were crunching some numbers and figured that probably somewhere above 40 is like, you know, what you need to sort of guaranteed not being relegated. There's really a big split in the league here. Like, Dumbarton has really won very little over here, sitting at 12 points. So if this trend keeps up, they will end with 24, 28, 42, 42, 42. So in the midfield, so you can see above 40 is really what you need at the minimum to avoid the automatic relegation and or the relegation tournament, the demotion tournament. So you've got and that seems to really weigh out here and these are probably. Especially though, there's a lot of split. They're not very, and that frankly, that's probably an average thing to not have it sort of be smoothly like a gradient of points from one to the other here. It seems to be very clumpy, especially there's a clear break between 4th and 5th, right? So people at the top and the people at the bottom. And in that case, I suspect if the points were spread out a little bit more, then you really would need 45, maybe even 50 points. Well, 50 points probably 100% guarantees not being at the bottom, but yeah, at least 40. So anyway, we seem to be in an excellent place. Even if our form drops, it feels like we will end up, worst case scenario, mid-table, but as is, we are still definitely on schedule to perhaps end up in the top 4, which would be just freaking brilliant and amazing given what we were hoping to achieve coming into this. And it is important to remember that we have our transfer window that opens on the 2nd of January over here, which is just a couple of days after our next match, and then we have some time. So the 31st of December and then the 7th of January here. And I don't know what we're going to be looking for. I really should start to consider that. Absolutely. Now, Nicky Devlin, who's our captain, is also relatively young. He could still get potentially a lot of skill going on. It's interesting, you're training for the fullback, and maybe get some crossing in just to try to fix this particular issue. You're so fast. Actually, maybe I should just be focusing on your passing rather than the crossing, literally, because right now I'm not pushing you as far up because your crossing is low, and maybe we can't get your crossing good enough to make that worthwhile. Tell you what, let's just emphasize your passing after all. That's going to be okay, because that'll be stronger, so you don't necessarily have to go all the way up for a cross. I mean, isn't a cross a type of pass? I don't know. Again, we're losing Ballatoni. He's probably leaving us on the 2nd. on the 15th, actually, of January. So he'll be in for another, 3 games, something like that. We're going to lose him. It's not the end of the world because we can bring in Peter Murphy, who's not too bad. He is a little older at 36, though. We might be looking for another central defender. Because if we've got him, and we've got Peter Thornbird, who's actually wanted by a team. Didn't we not trade you away? Or Grant. Did I say Peter? I think I was reading Peter over here. Grant Thorburn. And Tony's there. Yeah, I think we might want to see if we can't get another quality central defender. Grant over here. I remember what your deal is. You're only 17 years old. You haven't been getting a lot of play, so all your stats are degrading. You can only play as a central defender. You're not super mega tall. And you're wanted by a club. Your contract's expiring soon. Why don't I get rid of you? You got some value. Your physicality is so bad, and that's really the thing I look for in a young player. Their natural fit, like this is not going to be. I'm sorry, it says high potential ability. I mean, maybe we haven't developed you enough, and that's probably it. And maybe you will develop a lot of this over time. But it feels to me like you're never going to be a super crazy all-star player, and we're certainly not using you now. But do we start? You didn't have a goddamn picture. How good could you possibly be? Yeah, I think this is why we're in this, because he needs a contract renewal, and I can't decide if I'm going to renew the contract or not. He's not that tall. He doesn't have ridiculous jumping reach. He's being trained for strength, which is going up. And actually, at this point, it's not bad. We might be able to train up your jumping reach at this point. And it's not like we need you now. You might be suitable as a defender. How's your positioning? 14. So, because that's the thing, right? So, shoot, I lost you. There you are. Well, there's you. There's also Michael Rose, who's wanted. 21 years old. Still no real jumping reach. You can theoretically play on the right, and you're actually quite comfortable doing it. Your potential's lower. You're expiring. Yeah, I think we're going to trade Michael Rose away. I suspect. It's Grant here that's the big question mark. Your marking's a 13. Your tackling's a 10. That's really good. Positioning 14. Anticipation's only an 8, but you can pick up more of that. Vision's only a 4, which I think helps with positioning. I'm not sure. I don't know if it has more to do with offense or not. Maybe we use this guy. I mean, I assume you've been made available to the under-20 squad all the time. We could even just move you to the under-20 squad. You'd probably get a frack ton of play over there. Doing that, training for the jumping reach. Yeah. Let's see if we can renew your contract. You've got some potential. Oh. Wait. You're happy with your current contract? But isn't your contract expiring soon? Are we, trading you away? No. Why aren't you willing? You're happy with your current contract, but your contract expires soon. Okay, maybe if we come back to you in a few months. That's interesting. But Michael Rose, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, he's on the unwanted list already. We're going to try to offer him. Tell you what, I'll offer him for, below his value. Oh, there's a club interested. He wants him on loan. Yeah, I don't know. Tell you what, let's bring it up to 2.5K. Offer to clubs. That's going to be fine. All right, I'm going to put a cut in here. And next time, while we're playing against the Queen of the South. Thanks for watching, folks. See you then.